with a lot of people, why they're stuck, why they don't go further than they are, why sometimes they regress, why people that are so quick to comment negatively or give a backhanded compliment and think it's okay, or make a backhanded comment, because they're so focused on the messenger and not the message. And that's a big issue that I'm noticing pretty much every day. So many people want to listen to reply and not listen to apply. You want to listen to respond, but not listen to understand. Focus on the message. That's all I have to say. Have a blessed day.
So, good evening, good afternoon. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan Sports Classic. Today, we have a special guest, none other, the Jamaican Football Federation President, Sir Mike Ricketts, has done so much in Clarendon football, and over the years on this platform, many things are said, and I have to say, Ryan Sports Classic, when it comes on to bashing the JFF president, I do a lot. I bash him a lot because I don't happy with a lot of stuff is going on in Jamaican football. But this interview, one of the most recommended interview on YouTube since I started this channel over from 2019. A lot of people want to speak to the JFF president. So we're going to hear Mr. Mike Ricketts, his story, how him come up in football, which school him attend. Do the president play football? We are going to talk a lot. We're going to talk about the 2026 World Cup. The JFF making so much progress, but a lot of people out there don't know as yet. But we're going to give them time. We're going to allow them to get what they want to do. All right? So my beautiful people, make sure you smash the like button, share your thought down in the comment section, and listen, keep it respectfully. No calling nobody no name. Please keep it respectfully. You want respect? Keep it clean. All right? I don't want to block and delete anybody. So keep it respectfully. We can disagree with the president, but at the same time, we can disagree to agree without disrespect. All right? So I want to big up every single person down in the comment section. Really do appreciate all of you guys. But without further ado, Sir Prezi, good evening, man. Welcome to the show.
Ryan, good evening, and it's a pleasure, really a pleasure. I think it's overdue. My colleagues, both Speed and my new GS, have been in contact with you. I've done interviews with you. This is my first opportunity to speak with you, and it's a delight, really.
Thank you, man. How is your family first and foremost?
Well, we are all doing well. We're doing well, giving thanks. I have so much to be thankful for.
Okay, great. So, first and foremost, Prezi, tell us a little bit about yourself. Talk to us.
All right. If we're gonna speak about my footballing prowess, I went to Glenmuir, and I grew up in a community where one of my real friends, the former JFF president, Cranston Boxill, he went to Vertec. So my school was more of a kind of an academic culture, cadet kind of oriented institution. While on the contrary, Veer was a football and more so a sporting organization other than its academics. So I got to see players like the great Alan Cole. I saw Bob Campbell, I saw Orville Edwards, I saw the Blair brothers, Corcel, Maurice, Miguel. I saw that era when Veer dominated schoolboy football. After I left school, I ran smack into the 1977 Clarendon College team. So I saw Lenny Hyde, I saw Corey, I saw Russell, I saw Desmond Stiff. I saw Wanda. I saw that group of 77, Clarendon College, that I think is the best schoolboy team that I have seen. Then I fooled around a little bit at Virtech, supporting Bob Campbell, who was then the coach. So I managed a very technical team in 1980 that won the DaCosta Cup. They beat Dintil at Jarrett Park. In 1981, the table was turned. Dintil defeated us by a 1-0, a Paul Newman goal, I remember clearly. Then afterwards, I got involved in administration. So I eventually became president for Clarendon. In fact, in 1982, when the Ben Francis, the inaugural Ben Francis competition, Veer won the Ben Francis in 1982. They didn't win the DaCosta Cup, but they won the Ben Francis. And they also won the Nutriment Shield, beating Camperdown in the final. I thereafter got into administration, like I said, so I became president of the Clarendon FA. In late 1980, a friend of mine called Jimmy Chin, we formed a club called Galaxy. I don't know if any of you would have known of Galaxy.
Of course, I remember
Galaxy and Hazard became the two standard bearers as it relates to Premier League in Clarendon. So Jimmy and I started Galaxy. I then went back into administration and got a second term as president of the Clarendon FA. Thereafter, I became chairman of the South Central Confederation. I chaired the referees committee at the JFF. I chaired the competitions committee. I also chaired the club licensing committee. Afterwards, I became a vice president to Captain World. In 2016, when Captain passed, or 70, whichever, I threw my hat in the ring. And in 2017, I became president. So I served half of Captain World's tenure, and then eventually I got my own mandate. So I've been president for the JFF since 2017. Elections are due next year, so let's see what will happen. Right. So in terms of my footballing history, that's what it has been.
Okay, so you play any football at Glenmore? Or probably I get a call. When I get a call, you're not going to hear. Are you hearing me now?
I'm not hearing you, Ryan.
Are you hearing me? I'm hearing you. Just log off and come back. Go out and come back.
Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you good. I'm hearing you good. Are you hearing me? Yeah. Somebody is watching the television in here.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, fair enough. So
okay, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
So the person who are watching the house, they need to turn down their volume. Right? Okay. So people, we're going to talk about the president. All right. So hopefully we can get into the meat of the matter. You get what I say? So big up to all of the people down in the comment section. Fresh God, big up yourself. Kyle, big up yourself. Reed, big up yourself. KS Sports TV, big up yourself, brother. Tennessee, big up yourself. Nothing but love and respect. Kevin, Malcolm, big up yourself, brother. Nothing but love and respect. Jay, big up yourself. Speed, big up yourself. Fresh God, big up yourself. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys down in the comment section. And who is watching, make sure you guys smash the like button, people. We don't want to interrupt the interview. Like the video, people. Robert, big up yourself, brother. Nothing but love and respect. Really do appreciate all of you guys. Bailey, big up yourself. Nothing but love and respect. Patrick Holness, big up yourself, brother. Nothing about love and respect. Really do appreciate all of you guys down in the comment section. All right. So make sure you guys, we have what 90 of you guys in the comment section. Smash the like button, people. Please don't let us have to interrupt the interview and asking you guys for likes. So make sure you guys smash the like button. So the press is back. So let's bring him back. So yes, sir. So I was saying, do you play Dakasta Cup for Glenmore?
No, I never did. I never did. I would have been a goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
But I didn't. Yeah. But
okay.
that year when I would have played, the competition was aborted.
Okay. Fair enough. So when you leave, we want to take a look a step back before we get into the JFF stuff. So when you leave Glenmore, right? What next for my Ricketts? When you leave,
I work with the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
As an environmental health officer. I worked in the Clarendon parish for all of my life. So I went to school here. I went to primary school here. I went to Glenmere. I went to high school. I went to tertiary. Of course, in Kingston, came back, worked with the Ministry of Health for all of my life until I retired some years ago.
So what get you in football administration?
Like I said, I went to Glenmere. My friends went to Virtech. You know, we grew up as an ordinary youth. So you go play cricket, play football, get involved in shooting bird and catching fish, like an ordinary youth. So of course I get involved in playing cricket, playing football. So my friends went to Vir, which then was the mecca for schoolboy football. So of course you get involved. So you start watching the Costa Cup. You start watching Alan Cole and Bob Campbell and Anthony Douglas. So you're bound to get attracted to the sport. Right. So I managed the Virtech team. Then I got involved in football administration.
So yeah, as a manager at Vir Technical, you win anything as the manager or the Costa Cup or anything?
In 1980, we won the Costa Cup. We beat Dintil at Jarrett Park. In 1981, we again played Dintil in the finals. This time they defeated us by a goal to nil. In 1982, at the inauguration of the Ben Francis competition, Virtech was the first winner of the Ben Francis competition. They beat Cornwall in the finals. Cornwall, I think, won the Costa Cup. Virtech won the Ben Francis. There was also a trophy that the Walker Cup winners played against the Ben Francis winners called the Nutriment Shield. Vir also won the Nutriment Shield in 1982, beating Camperdown inside the National Stadium.
Yeah. So you remember who were part? Is Diego Gardner part of that Vir team?
Not in 1980. I think Diego came before. But Diego I don't think Diego played the Costa Cup. He played cricket. And I remember Diego making 100. I think it was against Dujan's team. In a Sporting Cup final.
Diego Garden, because Diego is my uncle, you know. So when I was
serious?
Yeah, man, Diego, I'm an uncle, man.
Great athlete, man. Great athlete.
Yeah. So leaving high school, you went straight into administration, you know. So at what age you become the manager of the team? What age?
That would have been at age 23.
23?
Yeah. When I managed the Virtech team.
Wow.
I was born in 1957. So 1977, when Clarendon was so very dominant, Clarendon College, I was 20 years of age. And then that Clarendon team, with the likes of O'Neill Russell and Desmond Stiff and Dave Gerard, Donovan Ray, Lenworth Hyde, that team first captivated my whole interest. Then I went back to Vir, worked with Kenneth Campbell. He was the coach, and I managed the team in 1980, 81, 82.
Okay, fair enough. So you did it, manage a team at the age 23, you know, give them the support. So at the time, in hindsight, you see yourself were going to be the JFF president in hindsight?
No, Ryan, not at all. Because right after, probably 83, 84, I became president of the CFA. I was invited by a gentleman called Lloyd Plummer, who works so very closely with John Green in building a youth program in this parish. That, as it is now, I think we are still because of the legacy of Green and Plummer, the Clarendon teams are still doing well. But I was invited by Plummer to be part of the CFA. Eventually, I became president about 84, 85. Then I resigned my position and with my friend Jimmy Chin formed a club called Galaxy. In 1992, Hazard went to the Premier League. It took Galaxy 4 years. I think in 1994, Galaxy was in the Premiership. Then it was Galaxy and, of course, Hazard. And there was another club in Veer called Leeds United. All three played Premier League at one time.
And
it was Galaxy and Hazard that were the dominant forces in the parish then.
Okay. Fair enough.
I even coached Galaxy.
Yeah,
one at a time. Those times, yeah, man. I took a little stint at coaching. But it was, you just had to do a basic course. But as times went by, I realized that it was getting a little bigger than me. So I stepped aside and we brought in a proper coach. And we did well during our sojourn in the Premiership.
Okay. So you didn't win anything with the Premier League?
Galaxy?
Galaxy,
no. But they did well in the Premiership, but they never won.
Okay, fair enough. So let's move on to how he becomes president of the Clarendon FA now.
Well, yeah, like I said, around about 1984, there was a vacancy. I ran for the position and was successful. So I became president of the Clarendon FA in 1984, I think. I resigned in 1988 and then formed Galaxy. I went back for my second stint around about 94, thereabout. So I became president again in 1994. And like I said, subsequently I became chairman for the South Central Confederation, which means Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and St. Catherine. So I chaired the Confed for a while. Then I became, of course, an executive member of the JFF. So I chaired the competitions committee for a while. Then I also chaired the referees committee and then the club licensing committee. Then, of course, I became a vice president to the late Captain Byrne.
Okay, fair enough. So, talk to me some of the stuff he has done in Clarendon as the president. Some of the things that you done as president as the...
Well, I personally would have set up in my early years, set up a youth program, which was led by Lloyd Plummer and John Green. My administration would have put
What's that team? What's that team?
Say it again.
What's the team? What's the team you administrate at that time when you become?
We just wanted to ensure that we had a very strong youth program. So I set up a youth program, more like a grassroots program. And I just was very fortunate to have gotten loyal and dedicated people like late Messrs. Green and Plummer. And I tell you, they worked assiduously to ensure that we had one of the strongest and the best organized youth program. And we would have inherited a legacy from those two late gentlemen that I think we're still seeing the results of right now, because they were so loyal. And I can't remember ever seeing Mr. Green, who was an Englishman who came here and taught at Clarendon College, coached Clarendon College in the early days. Then he got involved in football administration and then ran our youth program for decades. And I tell you, he would have made an indelible mark on local football.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
I
So
also had a stint. I also had a stint as chairman at Garvey, and I went to Garvey, and the first thing I did was to have a meeting with the staff and ask of them to help me as a sport-oriented person to win the Da Costa Cup. And we did set things in place, and we played Glenmuir in the final, my alma mater, and Garvey came out winners on penalties. So I've
yeah,
been into football at all levels, to be honest.
at our level and win titles too as
And
money.
would have, certainly, I would have won titles.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So someone asked me the question last night if I see the president of the passion in a Jamaican football, and that sparked a lot of stuff last night, and a lot of people called in. So my answer to the caller, I said, honestly, I don't see the passion in the president. All right. So
Ryan,
yeah,
I don't miss a football game played in my parish. I don't miss. There's no Sunday when the Premier League is being played when I am not at a game. I am one president who is on the ground, who want to stay humble, who want to ensure, and I've always said from day one that my only aim is to grow the sport of football. I am not the kind of person that you're going to see dress up in jacket and tie every day, but you will see me at a little football match every single day.
okay, fair enough, fair enough. And then one of the reasons why too, a lot of people don't really know much about you because most of the time you on interviews always say the JFF never did this, the JFF never that. So I want to make sure that I bring the different side of the president for the people can what I call it now to get a look inside of your journey coming up. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't really see that side of you. So I really appreciate it.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is that we never got a chance to do this before. But I know that Speed and Chung have had discussions with you. And each time they both speak with you, they give me an insight of exactly what the interview was about. So I know about your program. I know your listenership, how wide it has grown. And I am just very delighted to be part of the program this evening.
All right, definitely. Fair enough. So, all right, let's move on now. Let's move on to become the JFF president in 2017, he said. What as you has put foundation for the Jamaica national team to be successful? I'm not talking about the senior team. I'm talking about
all right. Let me tell you some things about football. Football is the only sport in Jamaica that runs a fully professional league. Football is the only sport in Jamaica that owns its own office building. Football is the only sport in Jamaica that owns a playing facility and a hostel of its own. So I'm saying all of that to say that we are very much on track. This JFF would have restarted the Women's League. When we got into office, there was no Women's League. It was abandoned. It was put on the back burner. It was put on hold. We restarted the Women's League, and a lot of people would conveniently not want to give us credit, but it was this administration that I lead. And the truth is, Ryan, I'm not going to take the glory because the people around me that do all the hard work. So I'm going to share the sentiments with all of those who have worked so hard and work assiduously for us to have qualified consecutively to 2 Women's World Cup. So we would have paid a lot of attention. And the Jamaica Women's Premier League just got restarted last week. I know some persons were getting impatient, but we were just making sure that we had everything in place so that we had a smooth start to a league that will last for 6 months. So, of course, we get a lot of exposure for these young girls. The coaches will be looking out for real talented players. And we want to ensure that we expose some of these young ladies at the highest level. Yeah. This JFF, has signed a contract with probably the leading apparel manufacturer in the world. This will kick in 1st of January. The old contract expires December 31. So the morning of January 1, we will have a brand new kit sponsor who we have had extensive negotiations lasting for at least 3 years. We've been talking to Adidas. And sometimes, Ryan, I feel helpless.
What's the money upfront you guys getting? How much Adidas deal?
We can't say it yet, Ryan, because we've been instructed not to do so until there's the expiration of the old contract. So all of these figures will be made known. And of course, it's not like what it used to be. There will be some injection of cash. So we have had an arrangement with Adidas that first and foremost, and you have set this in place, there's a coach that will be responsible for what we call a grassroots talent identification and development program. A coach has been assigned and will be announced probably the second week in January. So we want to ensure that we pay very special attention to our development and our grassroots program. And we're going to put a lot of energy in that department because we don't want Ryan just to go overseas for players. We want to send players overseas. So we want to identify our young players. We want to harness the talent. We want to get them into organized programs and ensure that these talents go overboard, whether it's for scholarship or for contracts.
Okay. So, President, you think in your administration, you as the president and the people around you, do you believe that, or do you think you guys put enough into on the youth when it come on?
Right. We remember we lost almost 2 full years to the pandemic.
Yeah, but
the pandemic, during the pandemic.
Before that, Prezi, like we get a lot of excuse about the pandemic. What about before
we only had 2 years, you know. We came into office in 2017. The pandemic, I think, was 2019. So we only had 2 full years. And I think that we did well. We did well at the Gold Cup. We did well with our Women's League. But like you have said, and I'm not going to say we were perfect, because certainly would have made a number of mistakes and would have lost ground because of the pandemic. And of course, because of some shortcomings within our secretariat. We now have a brand new general secretary. We have a brand new head coach with his own technical staff. And we are just hopeful that some of the mistakes that we would have made from a technical perspective, we will correct them. Speed is excellent at what he does. Speed chairs our technical committee. Dennis Strong is a super administrator, and he has shown that in the few weeks that he has been with the JFF. The coach, Hal Grimson, has brought 2 coaches with him, and we deliberately, it was by mistake that he came in this early. Once we failed in our qualification bid, we took a decision that 2026, we must be at the World Cup. And we searched, and Speed and his committee worked hard. We came up with Hal Grimson, and we think that he will make a huge difference to the technical component of the JFF.
And Mr. President, I'm glad you're talking about a lot of great stuff is going on, but some of the fans them still impatient because of what? You know, just like a girl, you know, she break your heart. You know, my girlfriend broke my heart, and trust me, it find me a little bit of feel to get back a next girl. Because
Ryan, it's only because of the love and the passion for the sport, you know. Because a lot of times people say things that are baseless, so to speak. But it's not that they want to hurt anybody, you know. That they don't want to hurt me, or they want to hurt the JFF. But it's just the passion and the impatience of wanting to see the football grow. And having it stagnated because of a number of reasons. But I can assure you, I can assure the fans that we have now created a path that is going to lead us to some good football, some good results, and some qualifications. We just came back from a sojourn in Florida where we had a camp. We were looking for some under 17 players. I got report that there were over 40 youngsters that showed up for this selection camp. So we want to ensure that we give our players and give the country a real opportunity of qualifying our under-17s for the World Cup.
I agree with you on that, Prezi. I think we having a camp, the under-17 will be starting on 17, I think February it starts. 2020 February. Why no a camp right now? Because we see that if the under-20 team get better preparation, would have a better chance to qualify. This under-17, the females under-17 get beaten in this try bad. I think we need to have some long-term strategy for the young men's them. 2 years.
We have been having camps now, because remember we have a facility of our own.
Just 1 or 2 days, not enough, man.
No, but we can't take them out of school. So we have to take them on weekends. And for the last 2 or 3 months, a number of them were involved in the schoolboy programs. But we have always been having small camps looking at these players. So as we speak, we have a real nice nucleus. In fact, we had a camp where some players from overseas, maybe 5-6 months ago, and the coach was very impressed with some youngsters who had actually come from overseas to be part of this camp. In fact, we ran a under-20 camp and an under-17 camp simultaneously, and would have extracted from the under-20s those who would qualify for under-17, and they would have formed the nucleus of our under-17 programs. But like I said, the qualifications will be in February. I think it's in Guatemala. And I think we have a nice nucleus of youngsters.
Okay, fair enough. So can you promise the fans them that going forward for these youth tournament, we're not going to have 4 months before we're picking team? Because of course. When you look at the other nation, the USA and all of these big nations, and even the small team that growing pan us, we cannot beat Antigua every single time we play Antigua or Bermuda, one of them teams. Them knock out under 20, and them knock out every time them see we, they are spending a lot of money in their program. You understand? So we can't, because we are Jamaican, we are believe say, okay, we have better talent. These Caribbean countries pumping a lot of money in them football. And if we not be careful, we sooner or later can make it to no under 17. The last time we qualify under 17 is 2011. Check that France team. You have about 4 or 6 players who value over, we sell for over £60 million. Where is our under 17 youth them?
Yeah, I agree. But we just need to get some more support, both from government and from corporate Jamaica. Ryan, we don't even have a decent field of our own. We are trying to set up the Captain Burrell Center of Excellence. We are trying to buy a piece of property so that we can set up a proper footballing support structure.
So why we never do before we be like Captain Burrell? Why we never just say, okay, we're just going to do a very good thing and done? Why we just trying to buy land now and then Captain Burrell? Because I speak to
we need to spread it. We need to spread it because Captain Burrell Center is in Kingston. We need to go central. We need to go west. We tried and reached it. We got a very far advanced stage of getting a property at Frome. And then something went wrong and the government thought that they would put it on hold. But we want to go right across the country and establish centers where we can capture all, because you see, and another competition, Ryan, that we really need to get restarted is this under 18 that we were playing some years ago, where once you leave school, you could get into your parish team and get some national exposure. We want to restart that competition. It was aborted during that COVID time. I think it's very important. It's a good competition because a number of the good players, you graduate from high school and then you just get lost because you don't play Premier League. There's no second tier for you to play. So you just get lost. We will definitely be starting us. We continue our second tier. The women's second tier will start around about February, March, but we want to restart that under 18, where the moment you leave school, you get into your parish team and you get exposed at the national level.
Okay. So some of the football in Jamaica right now, under 17, under 15, under 13, why we not getting none of that going on right now president in Jamaica?
All right, the under 15 for girls, that is definitely on the cards to start early next year. The under 13 and under 15, we normally have those spread right across the country. Those will definitely restart next year without question. I know that South Central had a proper under 13, under 15. Juicy Patties was our sponsor. We're going to re-engage Juicy Patties. And of course, the other confederations will certainly have their under 13 and under 15 restarted. But that is something that certainly would have caused us to have lost some good players. No under 13, no under 15 nationally. But we are working on it, and I can assure you that will restart next year.
Next year. All right. I'm going to work for them thing then.
Yeah, man, because we're having Adidas on board, and we have, as part of our contractual arrangement, our youth programs and grassroots programs will get special attention.
Adidas doing that?
Well, part of the contractual arrangement.
Yeah. Wow, that's nice then. That means there's a big money deal when you get for Adidas then, man.
I soon tell you, Ryan. I soon tell you. The morning of January 1, I can tell you.
Okay.
That is right after the expiration of the present contract. But there's a confidentiality clause and a non-disclosure clause to the contract. We can't say anything until this present contract expires.
Okay, fair enough. So I am going to ask you something. Website. What's wrong with the JFF website? What's wrong with the JFF YouTube channel? All the people going to get the merchandise. You guys say Adidas is coming, and all the people can get the merchandise to buy.
That Adidas will be fully responsible for marketing the Adidas gear. Totally, fully. We have been trying to get them to set up shops in our airports. That is a recent discussion. But Adidas, and I think they're a very, very strong marketer. So I believe that we won't have any issues at all getting these gear. And they will be marketing our local Reggae Boy Adidas gear globally. That was part of this discussion we had. And I tell you, Ryan, like I said, we've been talking since 2019 about this contract. And sometimes, like I said, I felt helpless, like I wasn't getting anywhere. And then we would restart. And like I said, the rest is history. To God be the glory.
Okay.
And you see, Ryan, and I've always said, and I want to reiterate, we don't want to be a JFF that it's only football. We must reach out to our lesser fortunate communities or inner cities. We must have a social impact on the lives of every single boy or girl in this country. We want to change the mindset. We want to ensure that we have a positive impact. We want to give these youngsters something to look forward to, something to play for, something to wanting to play. So we will be very strong on our grassroots program, and I have discussed it with my general secretary. We're going to write to FIFA, and we're going to ask for some support for inner city football.
Okay, fair enough. That's so good. That's so good. And you know, I like the feedback. I like everything when I hear what is really going on with the Football Federation in the new 2023 direction and stuff. So, Prezi, what happened with the 2022 World Cup? Why we didn't qualify? What went wrong?
I think we never had the kind of energy. We never had the kind of synergy. I don't think the chemistry was right, and I don't think we managed everything as well as we ought to have done. The JFF would have given as much as was requested and required. We gave everything. We made sure we had contracts in place for both coach and players. They wanted extra medical people. We gave them. They wanted a sports psychologist. We gave them. They wanted a chef to travel around the world with. We gave them. Where it was possible, we had chartered flights. So it's just that the synergy, the chemistry wasn't there. Because when I look at Costa Rica, for example, Costa Rica beat us in Jamaica 1-0, and we had 60% of the football. We lost. We played Costa Rica in Costa Rica. I think we led until late in the game. They drew with us. Mexico, we were 1-1 until the 89th minute. Mexico eventually scored a very late goal. They beat us. The US here were very unfortunate, and we lost a game that I think it was simply by mistake. So just that things, and the breaks, Ryan, didn't come our way. But we want to ensure that we have a proper management structure in place. We have the energy of the players.
Administration deal with the whole COVID situation, because the JFF were keep on complaining about COVID. But other countries have COVID too. You think you guys were prepared and do well enough?
Ryan, money. Because remember, we can't match Canada and the US and Costa Rica, Mexico. You want to go to some of those countries and see some facilities. Some facilities that they have. I mean, we don't look like that. We don't have the kind of facility, we don't have the financial support.
May I stop at this? We spend $1 billion in the World Cup qualifying. Am I wrong or am I right?
I can't confirm, but I will check to see exactly how much it was.
Okay. So, based on my information, the JFF spent $1 billion in this World Cup qualify because we didn't qualify everything. So, you guys, private jet.
No, but look at this, Ryan. Look at the kind of facilities that we have. We don't even have a proper training ground. I mean, if we have to use the national stadium, we have to pay hefty sums. If we have to use any other facility, it's going to cost us. And we invested heavily, because we really wanted to have qualified. And we invested heavily. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. Like I said, the breaks just didn't come our way. We lost a game to the US that we never should have lost. So that would have 3 points more than what we ended with. But like I said, we invested because we wanted to qualify, and we virtually threw everything into the qualification. It just never worked. So we just have to restart.
Yeah, but
like I said, I'm not going to say we never made mistakes. Of course, we did make mistakes. But we want to ensure that we do not make the same mistakes again.
Yeah, I hope to learn from that mistake, Prezi. But one of the main issues we have in the World Cup qualifier, player coming, too many players, Jamaican players all over the world coming into the team, didn't secure as quick as possible. And that end up mess up the chemistry of the whole team. Oh, can you? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I kind of agree, because there was, of course, some kind of a division among some players. But I think the coaching staff, I don't think they were strong enough in dealing with certain things. And even some things they weren't in agreement with. I mean, they didn't really try to manage it well. But again, I'm going to reiterate that we did make mistakes. There's no question about it. We have in place now staff members who can really build a relationship with the players, because that is very important. The JFF must have a relationship with its players. We have done a pretty decent job of trying to do a repair job. And I think it has worked. We have a better relationship with our players. We have a better relationship with our staff members. And I believe that that will give us some good results.
Recently, a lot of Reggae Boyz do an interview, and they said they don't have that cool relationship with you guys. And I think my perspective looking on the things in my ear, Prezi, I think we need to find that right balance with the players. Because this is what I believe. Players must come first. Players, they are the players that put in the product. They are the players that put in. Once the players them comfortable, yeah, and we make a lot of mistakes in the World Cup qualifying. I mean, I go put down everything for one, you know. But players didn't perform as well them supposed to do, because them get world class travel, and the man them play no ball. Them they play the ball. But on the other side, what I don't want for happen, President, because this is what happened, right? I'm going to hear me out tonight. This is what I don't want for happen for 2026. The players them have to come in early. If we are going to recruit, we recruit to player them early. We cannot wait.
Ryan, that is where we have a problem. Because the clubs, they're not going to release their players unless it is during the window.
International break. If an international team must.
But we're not going to get them outside of the break. But once
about the outside the break. But Prezi, do you guys, because this is a problem we may have with the JFF, you know. All right? We spend a big budget on the World Cup qualifier campaign. We didn't make it to the World Cup. I understand, say the funds not going to lump sum there. What we always do, we don't make it to our World Cup qualifier. We don't make it to the World Cup. We spend a bag of money in that campaign. After the campaign or the Nation League, we're broke. We don't have no money. We need to bring in some of we best player them in these small tournaments. We have to have the balance. We can't go with too much local player. We have to have that balance where the coach are going to get the best player them to get us over the line. We are one game away from the Mexico game from make it into the Nation League semi-final. We can't afford to have all in. We need to have a best player, that mixture, and the players have to come early. We can't jump on we do all the time every year. I want to qualify.
Well, Ryan, we have a strong coaching staff now.
Okay,
that will help us to manage and to help us not to make the same mistakes that we made before. Because Hal Grimson is a strong personality. And he's going to demand of the JFF a number of things, and he's going to also demand of the players a number of things. So we want to ensure that we build that relationship with the coach and his staff from now. And he must now give us a finished product, work with the players, ensure that the players give their best, and that translates into good results. But I appreciate and understand all that you have said, and I appreciate what the comments that I've heard. And I have no issues, Ryan, if people want to come in, sit with me, as long as you're going to constructively criticize. I don't have a problem. Let us just sit down, and just like some of the things you've said, they are facts. They are very, very factual, and are things that we must address going forward.
Yeah. And I hope you guys can get that relationship with the players, because it's very, very important, right?
Very important.
We have some, may I tell you, for a long time, I believe in our Jamaican coaching staff. We not only get one head coach, we normally do. We go get a team. We have a goalkeeper coach, we have an assistant coach, we have a fitness coach, and then we have Marian Garden. We're going to learn from these professional coach. He's going to be the third assistant. So I like the way on to build the team, because this is where we compete against, you know. We compete against the United States and the Mexico. A-licensed coach. And at least we match up to Mexico and all of these teams with an A-license. And that's very, very important. But what
and as you said that, Ryan, we have 6 local coaches now who are doing their A-license. And we expect to have them train those other coaches so that we have good, knowledgeable coaches. So there are 6 A-licensed coaches now who are just finishing up, and they will help us now to go around the island, because we believe that, and we have started the process. We have covered a number of parishes as it relates to their C license, and all the parishes would have done their C license. So we are now expecting that when our grassroots program start, we'll have knowledgeable and coaches that are properly prepared to start working with our grassroots kids.
Most definitely. And Sprezzy.
But Ryan, I would have liked if you and a few of your strong callers, supporters, just come to the JF one day and let us sit down and you jot your concerns down. I will just discuss them. Because I have always believed that I ought to listen to everybody. I mean, some may be ignorant, but some may be very knowledgeable. And once your criticism is of some level of construct, then I'm going to sit and listen to you. If it's baseless and filled with fabricated stories, then I'm going to have a problem. But if you like how you present your thing this evening, I would love to sit down face to face with you and have a discussion.
President, how many times you come across my video? Because I beat you a lot, man. I try iron pan you.
Me know, man, but that's how life go, man. That's how the thing go. But here I know. You see, growing up as a little boy, my mother used to beat me bad, But you know why she beat me? Because she wanted the best for me. You see, the man that will beat me and beat me with justification. Love you same way, man. You know, the man that I have a problem with, a man just make up some story and innuendos and stories that are not factual and then try to bash me. I have a problem with that. But if your criticism is constructive and I need to look into myself and the JFF needs to look into itself and to see how best we're going to correct these.
Definitely. So, Prezi, all right, we're going to move on to a few little things now. So, we talk about what we didn't qualify for the World Cup. We brush over that. We talk about our players, them coming in early. Very, very important. I think people going to respect this coach, right? Because these coaches no nonsense. You understand? You get to me and say, and fans, when you have to understand when coach make decision for the right reason. You know what I mean? Sometime. But going forward, Prezi, may I tell you this. I just hope on angle the thing them the right and proper way and on learn from all of these hiccup, learn from all of these mistakes. So the player them contract going to up in a January too, right? We just signed 2 years ago, we signed the contract. Talk to me about new players signing contract. The players them for next year, they sign in contract. You know, if you don't pick up again where players striking for money and all of them stuff, they all far that because the contract running out early, I think in a January, 2-year contract.
Well, that is part of Speed's portfolio. I know he has been having discussions with the coach.
Yeah.
The coach officially takes office on January 1. As soon as he comes into Jamaica, that is the first thing that we'll have to sort out. Who are the players that are going to want to be contracted, and we will proceed immediately. I don't think we should have too many issues because the basic template is already there. It's just for us to make some adjustments. But I know Speed been having discussions with Hal Grimson, and as soon as he puts foot in Jamaica, that particular issue must get some priority.
Okay, so clarity. So you said six Jamaican coach going to get them A license. What level qualify? Is it CONCACAF or pro license?
No, the A license permit you to coach at the highest level. So if I remember, it will be Speed, Meran Gordon, Vassell, I think Fuzzy. That's what, 4. But I know it's six of them.
Wendell Downswell went to that 6.
Downswell, yes, for sure. So that's 5 and one other. So
and next,
6.
And him coach, I know the next coach, but I can't him come to mind. Him coach in the Dakar Cup.
Vassell, Meran, Speed, Downswell, Fuzzy, one other.
Yeah. So it's a CONCACAF A license or a Trinidad A license.
No, it's a CONCACAF A license.
CONCACAF
you'll be permitted to teach anywhere in CONCACAF. So we will have them to prepare our coaches, and Jamaica is the only country that would have 6 A license. The only country in the Caribbean that would have those kind of trained and qualified coaches. Their responsibility now would be to upgrade the skills of all the other coaches. Like I've said, our C license, we have done at least 25 of those coaches in each of the 14 parishes. So they are ready to take on the grassroots programs. So those will be the C license coaches would coach the little kids. And I've always said that it's very important that when you start with good coaches. Because if you don't, then you're going to learn bad practices, and then you have to de-coach and re-coach again. And that would have been one of our main problems. We start learning the technical rudiments of the game too late. So we're going to be very strong on our grassroots program. We're going to have coaching educators supervising the grassroots. We're going to have each confed will have one person supervising the process. We really want to give that some attention. And as part of his responsibility, he will identify talent identification. So it's grassroots talent identification and development program. That's one portfolio responsibility for one of the coaches coming with Hal Gibson.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so is Al Grinso going to be a part of helping coaching back? Is that going to be a part?
Yeah, man, definitely. That's part of his contractual arrangement. Definitely. He'll be here. He'll be working with the coaches. He will travel the island. He will supervise all our technical projects and programs. He will be here along with his assistants. And the goalkeeper coach will definitely have to do a very, very important role of ensuring that our young keepers are properly coached, because we're losing out on goalkeepers.
Goalkeeper, yeah.
I don't think we have developed the talents of our young keepers. So
and Miller, them are the last scrap, a good goalkeeper we have.
Yeah, and if you remember a guy named Paul Campbell.
Paul Campbell, he was the one who responds to all of these big
Yeah, man. Paul Campbell did a lot of good work with that set of goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the days when he used to come to Clarendon. We used to select the best of our young coaches, and we'd come here like on a Saturday morning, work here, then go to Manchester. And he did that repeatedly. Hence, we had a strong cadre of goalkeepers. I think we have lost that. So we'll have some catching up to do there. And it's not that we don't have talented keepers, because even throughout this schoolboy season, I personally saw some keepers that showed good quality, but we need to continue the process of having them continue to learn and grow on their technical competence.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with you. You have some good goalkeeper in our Manning Cup. We can go to I think Selassie have a very good goalkeeper too. I think JC have a good goalkeeper too.
Yeah.
You know, many school them have some
yeah, and even in Clarendon, Central has a decent keeper. Mannings has a decent keeper. Clarendon keeper is good. I think and that is what we will have to do, Ryan, is to pick the best, maybe the best 20 coming out of the schoolboy season, house them at the camp at Captain Borough Center, and have the goalkeeper coach work with them. Because like I said, we have some catching up to do as it relates to our keepers.
Yeah. So, Percy, I want to make sure I quiz you back on this A-license thing. You sure it's not a Trinidad A-license? It can't coach in
No, man, it's a CONCACAF. Our speed. Okay. The course is being done in Trinidad. In Trinidad. CONCACAF. Okay. And we just completed a CONCACAF coaching course for females.
Yeah, in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, yeah. I think there were 24 female coaches. So we still want to give a lot of attention to the female, the gender, female gender. We really want to continue to ensure that we give them as much support. And we were very, very strong in ensuring that we get a CONCACAF coaching course here in Jamaica. So I think we had 24 ladies who would now certainly be in a position to coach in our Jamaica Women's Premier League tournament, which just started last week.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so what about on a vision going forward for 2026? What's the JFF vision? What's in a plan?
Well, we really want to qualify. It would be a travesty if we should not qualify for 2026. And that is why we were very, 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 very strident in ensuring that we get a good coach with a good support staff. So we start the process from now. So once we missed out on Qatar in 2022, we decided that we're going to put plans in place and be very serious. And like I said, be very, very strident heading to 2026. This is going to be in our region. It is probably one of the easier route getting to the World Cup. We just have to ensure that we give it our best shot. But we're going to work on it. Once the coach comes in, we're going to work closely with him. Speed, like I said, would be his responsibility to ensure that the technical staff does a good job, and the end result must be that we qualify for 2026.
Yeah. The last Coach Theodore Whitmore, he in his contract he's supposed to do a lot of workshop. Whitmore did it 2 times and everything done. We can't afford Al Grimsey having so much knowledge, leave Jamaica, and a lot of the coach him don't learn nothing from Al Grimsey.
No.
So we'll make sure that the workshop has been done.
Ryan, in fact, we have had these discussions with him, and he was very humble in his approach, that he wants to ensure that he not just qualify for the World Cup, but he leaves a legacy here. And he wants to meet with all the coaches in the Premier League, want to meet with all the local players regularly, have sessions with the local players, have camps with the local players. And certainly if you listen to him, you would understand and appreciate that he does have a vision. So we just want to ensure that we're in a position to give him as much support. And like I've said, I believe in God. So many things are falling in place. We have a new coach, we have a new general secretary, we have a new sponsor, we have new staff members. And so far, we are charting a path forward that we will reach the promised land when 2026 comes.
26, President. If we not qualify now, you have to go resign,
Yeah, we have to go run away.
You have to go run away. You have to resign. You get to me, because there's no way you're supposed to qualify.
Mark you. It is never the sole responsibility. And I don't think it has happened that a president walk away because a team doesn't qualify. But I'm prepared to do that if they don't qualify in 2026.
No, you're not supposed to prepare. You're supposed to pack your bag. Just like how I watch Belgium. Belgium didn't make it out of the group. Mexico didn't. The coach him not even go back to Belgium, not even go back to Mexico with the team. Them dugga. So if you not qualify, you need to make sure that you pack up your bag from early and exit.
Right. But you know, me don't even want a bag, because me so sure so we're going to qualify. That's not even a bag. We're going to give it the best shot, right? I'm sure.
Would you say our biggest problem right now in Jamaica is it what I call it, the administration?
No, man, it can't be.
Yes, man. I think mess up a whole heap.
It can't be. Tell me the things that we mess up. The only major problem that this administration had was traveling. That's the only problem. We messed up a lot of changes. We have made some changes, and it was simply because a lack of funds. Tell me the major issues that we have.
The way name there is very bad, man. The players, the flight many times. See, come on.
That's what I tell you. That's what I tell you. So that would have been probably our biggest bugbear, flight arrangements. We would like to travel first class every time, but we can't afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, US can afford to travel first class every time. We can't.
So
we chartered a number of flights during the World Cup campaign. Chartering aircraft is not a cheap exercise, but we tried it because we really wanted the players to be comfortable. If we could afford it, Ryan, we wouldn't have those issues. We'd have charter flights everywhere we're going.
What about
during COVID? We had a lot of challenges.
We never reach out to a air flight company to sponsor the team like we're
every time we try. They said they are having challenges because they are just now recovering. But they were having as many challenges as any corporate entity because business were bad. Right now, we're talking to a growing airline, which hopefully will respond positively. But that would have been probably a major bugbear over the years.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So, back to the 2026 vision now. See you guys hiring a lot of new people. We have a new marketing. We have a new gensec. What more the people can expect from the Football Federation with new administration? Because I think that's one of our biggest weakness. Manage
Well,
things.
we have some very strong and competent people on board now, and we would have made some changes that we think ought to be very positive, and we are seeing such signs already. The coach is very strong, very tough mentally, but at the same time, he understands how to deal with players, how to deal with staff. The general secretary has done an excellent job the few weeks that he's been here. I mean, today, for example, we spoke certainly not less than 6 times because we're just trying to get things organized and get things sorted out. So we have uh, also engaged a new marketing committee with a chairperson that is intent on getting things right. So we have also been working on relationship with our parent organization, with FIFA. And they were a little bit unhappy to say the least, again, because of our operation side. We
What are
have done a number of things that they are now very, very happy with.
what are some of the things you wasn't happy with you guys?
The whole management of the finance department. They were unhappy with how we responded to mails, that we were not timely in our preparation of budget. They were very dissatisfied and unhappy with certain things. Chung came on board, Chung being an accountant. I mean, the first meeting I had with the finance department, and when Chung made his presentation, the response was that, President, you do have a good general secretary because he's good with numbers, he's good with figures, and we are very, very optimistic and very expectant that corrective measures will be put in place to ensure that we get things back on track. And FIFA, as it is now, are comfortable based on utterances that they would have made, documents that they would have sent, that we are on a correct path and we are in revival mode. We want to ensure that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, man. Revival, yeah, man. Jump up and get ready and get things right and do things properly. Yeah, man. So we are very, very intent, Ryan, on getting things right. We understand football, and I challenged the constabulary to do an audit during the period of the World Cup from November 20 to December 18 and compare the same period anytime you want to. And I guarantee you that our homicide and our robbery and our rape numbers will be less. That is the impact that football can have on this nation. And this JFF is intent on impacting the lives of every little boy and every little girl.
Yeah. All right, viewers, smash the like button. Tennessee, big up yourself. Really do appreciate all of you guys. We have almost 400 of you guys in the building. Let us see the like button, man. President, you think the people them know so them for like, share, and subscribe?
Yeah, man. What do you mean, man?
All right. People, like, share, and subscribe. So, President, what are your guys' plan? Because FIFA giving you guys money. Adidas guys give you guys a lot of money. What are your guys' plan to get more sponsor to corporate Jamaica come on board to support Reggae Boyz?
Ryan, we have 12 national teams to take care of. 12. So we're always going to be in need of financial support. Like I've said, we have brought on a new marketing team with a brand new chairperson, Mr. Chris Daring. I think he went to the World Cup. He's back now. We will have a meeting shortly. So when January comes in and we have a brand new marketing team, we have a brand new sponsor, we have a brand new coaching staff, we have a relatively new general secretary with new staff members rearing to go. I just want to ensure the public and ensure your listeners that it will not be business as usual. We must reach out in the communities. We must get football at a premium. And once we get the support of government, once we get the support of corporate Jamaica, once we get the support of our marketing people and our new sponsor, then the sky is the limit, I can assure you.
Yeah. But Prezi, would you say, because really and truly, the Reggae Boyz senior team take a lot of money. We don't spend a lot of money on the youth team them, because we have the youth team them in a camp and all of them stuff there. And the coach them most of the time, the under 17 coach, them depend on a part-time job. So it's supposed to be more easier for you guys. So when me hear more time me hear you talk in an interview, you say you have 12 or 11 team to take care of.
Yeah.
But playing a practice game and all of them.
No, but if you have, last year I asked the team manager to tell me how many times the senior team traveled. And 17 times in 1 year we went overseas. 17 times. Just roughly calculate how much money that is, Ryan.
Yeah, but President,
the girls, remember the girls under 17, the girls senior team, the under 20s, the under 17, all of them were going overseas. So yeah, we still had to provide stipend for staff, stipend for players, airfare, food. It may not cost as much as the senior men's team, but it's still going to run into millions.
Yeah, but
so what we have done now, is that in January, and we're going to invite you all in January, we'll do a calendar of events. We will attach a budget to that, and that certainly will make life a little bit more easier and certainly would make it more manageable. So we're going to present, we have gotten the proposed report from the technical staff, so we'll have an idea how many games we're going to play, what the cost for whether hosting or traveling for these games. So we'll have a budget. So we will have a better idea, we'll have a fair idea as to what our expenses will be. Then we'll be able to manage our resources a little bit better.
So when we can, when that can be, we can get that
certainly by the second week in January. Because we will be organizing a press conference to announce the Adidas sponsorship. By then, you will know all the details. Of course, we will have this meeting to educate the public as to what the calendar of events will be, how many games we will play, what the cost will be, and then, of course, we will be able to present a budget. So we can say FIFA is giving us $10. We expect to get 20 from private sector. Our total expenditure will be $25. So our shortfall will be $5. So we need to find somewhere to get this $5, which certainly will make things a little easier.
But President, don't FIFA give you guys money for all of these tournaments you travel on? So first, remember this one.
No.
But this one and they talk after, right? The senior team, most of the time when the senior team travel outside of Jamaica, you guys get money from the other football federation for traveling. So example, the game.
Not necessarily. No. For example, CONCACAF. When you play in the Gold Cup, I think we get $75,000 for preparation. If you don't in the top 4, you don't get no more money. $75,000 can pay your fare probably one time.
But Prezi, each time, so when I say if we make it to the last 4, right? We'll make it to the last 4, we'll get money. But remember, each game.
Third and fourth is monkey money. If you come second or if you win, you get our money. But that is CONCACAF.
Wait, no, I'm not talking about Conca Cup. I know about the Conca Cup. I'm saying the other day you guys travel to Catalonia. Catalonia cover everything on the hotel.
No, man. They don't cover everything. No.
President,
We negotiate a fee. We negotiate a fee. What we agreed to, what they agreed to pay us, is not necessarily going to cover the expenses, because we want these games as part of the preparation. So if Catalonia say, all right, we're negotiating, we give you $100,000. But our flight to Catalonia may be $120,000. But we want to expose the players. We want to play the game. We want it to be part of the preparation. So we say, all right, we are prepared to contribute $20,000. You understand? So sometimes it costs us because we really want to play. I mean, we played. We went to Austria, and I think the fee was $180,000, but it cost us more than that, because when you have to carry players from all over, Ryan, it's a lot of money to move these players all around the world, you know. And people are critical sometimes. But when you may have a player coming from Russia, for example, and you can't get a flight from Russia, say, to London, but you can get one to Germany, and then to London, and then to Jamaica. Sometimes you have no options at all than to go that route, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. So a lot of times, flying consume a lot of the match fees. But we want to play these games because we want it to be part of preparing the team. Because we have to play practice games. But a lot of time, it costs us. But we can't turn them down because we want to play.
I will get the full detail on that one I just asked, you know. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I will give the pass on that when you tell me about you guys have to make up money. Me sure know say most of the time when the team travel, when them invite you guys, they pay for travel arrangement and they pay you guys hotel fee and all of them stuff there.
They give you they don't pay for travel. You have to pay for travel. And if you want a bet on that, I can bet you. We have to pay for travel. They will take care of hotel and ground transportation and food, but we have to pay for travel. And they give you a fee, you negotiate a fee, and if the JFF says we want 100,000, and they say, no, we can't pay 100, we can pay 90. And the JFF says, all right. And there's a shortfall of 20 or 30,000. We have to find it.
Okay.
We have to find it. I can work with the details and get back to you on it. I can give you all the details.
All right, definitely. So, hold the line. We're going to take a caller. All right. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the show. Live with Ryan, Sports Classic, and the president of the Jamaican Football Federation. Good evening, caller. Oh, hold on, caller. Hold on. Okay, so, yeah, caller, go ahead, caller. Caller, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead, caller.
Okay. Mr. Ricketts, thank you for the call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So a few questions that I have, right? One, in the negotiation with, like Ryan just brought up stuff about Catalonia.
Yeah.
Why is it that we don't negotiate the airfare as a part of the package, right?
No, like I said,
one second. I'm sorry. I'm just going to land real quick. What I believe other nations do is that the opponent cover the airfare, cover the accommodations, and then there's a separate appearance fee. So in your appearance fee, if they're not paying for the airfare, you guys should negotiate that within the appearance fee. So everything is covered. Jamaica football.
You have to understand that when a country wants to play, when we sometimes get in contact with a country, there are several other countries that they can play. So if we are going to hold a hard line, they're going to say, all right, let me go somewhere else. So I go to Panama, I go to Costa Rica, I go somewhere else. So we have to, and like I've said, we always want to use these games as part of practicing. So sometimes we are prepared to fall short because we really want to play these games. And our opponents are saying, well, this is what we can afford. If this can't work, then we look elsewhere. This has happened so many times that we try to hold out and they say, all right, this is not workable, so we look elsewhere.
Right. Let me give you an example. This is a real example with the JFF. In 2019, there was a group in New York called Shashanaya Productions, right? They were working with the U23 selection, right? Which ended up not occurring. Why, I don't know. What that group did, they covered airfare for the players to come up from Jamaica. So what happened? They had a selection team here in the US where they went around the entire US and found players that had Jamaican passport that qualified to play for Jamaica, and they created a US team that was based in a Jamaica team that was based in US. Then they were now going to play against the local based player. I think at the time Donovan Dookie was coaching. Michael Barnes was the one in charge with Shashanaya Productions. They put on a big event in New York. It was supposed to occur. This was during the same time that the Women's World Cup was going on, I guess in France. Then, so what happened? The group paid for the airfare for the local players, airfare for the coaches. Then there was, we had another person from the Washington, D.C. area that covered the hotel, food, transportation, everything. And then there was going to be a separate fee to the JFF for the players showing up, right? And that never occurred. So why can't those type of negotiations go on?
No, I'm not even sure if what you're saying is factual. Because I know that the JFF turned it down because the deal was not workable. I know. So what you're saying might not even be factual. Because I don't know why the JFF would turn down something.
I saw the numbers.
Like that.
Numbers in terms of...
You seeing the numbers doesn't mean it's factual. I cannot... Why would the JFF turn down something like that? I know for sure that the JFF was very uncomfortable with the arrangement and we withdrew at the last minute. I am assuring you that what you're saying is not factual. I mean, why would the JFF not grasp an opportunity like that? Something was
I can understand
right in the arrangement. I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you that something was not right.
We're going to in Jamaica after January 1, and we're going to talk about some things. I'm going to be one of the person that Ryan will bring along, all right? And
yeah, man, I'd love that. I would love that. Feel free. Ask Ryan to just get in contact with me. And after you just come. And just sit down, just jot down your things and let us talk.
Okay. Right. No problem.
I really appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for taking the call, Ryan.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate it. Cool.
Right. No problem. So we'll be in contact, Mr. Ricketts, all right?
Absolutely.
Before I go,
I appreciate your call. I want to more appreciate when you sit down and have a face-to-face discussion.
Yes, I want to say one thing. I think the new hire that you guys made was genius. Yep. I think the sponsorship from Adidas is genius. I would love to see how you guys are going to garner sponsorship from corporate Jamaica and brand Reggae Boyz around the entire world. Jamaica's already.
I tell you, caller, we are working on it. I tell you, and that's why I really want to sit with you after January 1, and then we can exchange ideas. And I tell you exactly where our thought processes are. So
no
make
problem.
Sure you're ready to come in and sit.
I know a lot of the guys very well, Mr. Gaynor and everyone. We have talked a lot, right. So he knows who I am. So he'll introduce us as well. All right?
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
All right, you take care of yourself. All right. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, Prezi. So, it's good to have these conversations. You know what I mean? It's good to interact with the fans, and we really appreciate your coming and really speak to us. So Prezi, we'll get a few missed calls, so we're gonna call back some people, so the people them going to in contact with you and stuff. I don't know how much time you have and stuff, so I beg you bear with me. Your phone battery is going. Okay. All right, so Prezi, I want to say, man, so what would you tell the fans going forward now? Because I hear you and
just be patient with us. I understand the commitment and the loyalty, and I understand how you feel sometimes, how disappointed you may be. But I tell you, we have some good things on the horizon. Just stay positive, help us to stay focused. Share with us when you have good ideas. We have no problem. We have an open door policy. Feel free to come and talk with us rather than hide behind innuendos and fabricated stories. Come once you have constructive criticism, we will embrace it. Ryan, I'm depending on you to organize a little group and come and sit with us.
Yeah, I'm glad we are open up to the to
one battery dead.
Yeah, President say yo, phone battery. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, President say yo, phone battery. Yo. I got it. President say, yo, full batch dead. I got it. Yo, nah lie, star. Nah lie, put fun and joke aside, people. Trust me, people. See it? The phone line is open, yeah? I will say the people them for calling and nobody, a 2-person alone calling. So all of you guys know, be a mouth, yeah? So, listen, it's good to know the president come and speak about all of these things, Virgin. We have been said a lot for the last 28 minutes, people. You know what I mean? It's a good interview, people. It's a good interview. So we wait for the president to plug it in and come back to us and stuff. But at the meantime, people, call in. Let me know what you guys think about the interview with the president. Come and share your opinion. Talk to us. Talk to us. Hear me? Talk to us. JT Taylor. Where is JT Taylor to ask some question? That's a good thing. So, it's good to see the president come and speak. So, one year, what do you guys think about the thing? Either Carla, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yo.
Carla, good evening. Welcome to the show. Talk to us. The president just speak. What you learned from what the president said. Talk to us. How you feel?
Well, whenever you hear much of the president say, I catch the last part right there, you know. A few things where when him say the patient and them a build up some infrastructure. I think I write this I catch it to them after them and look it's buy some land to build up some thing and something. So may I say I don't know.
Gunners back. Gunners back.
Yo. Yes, bro. Ryan.
When you call the show, brother, see, remember, you know, we are learning from each other. All right? So when you call into the show, I want you to call in and add value to the show. So if you don't hear everything, if you don't hear if you don't hear the whole full interview, you go back and you rewind and we talk again, brother. You understand? I want to call them to add value to the show, brother. Yeah.
No one ask you one